Thanks for your interest in starting a World Beyond War chapter. In this brief presentation, we'll introduce what World Beyond War does and what our chapters are. Our mission at World Beyond War is to abolish the institution of war. We look at war holistically at all of its multifaceted impacts, and we oppose all forms of war, all types of weapons, and all forms of violence. We operate in a decentralized or distributed organizing model where we don't have a headquarters, we don't have any offices actually, and we all work remotely. Most of our work is run by volunteers around the world in their communities. We have people who have signed the Declaration of Peace in 193 countries and counting. We currently have 22 chapters in 12 countries. A chapter can be thought of as a branch of World Beyond War in a way. It uses the name of World Beyond War, such as Cameroon for a World Beyond War or Florida for a World Beyond War. A chapter uses the logo and branding of World Beyond War and follows our mission of war abolition. We also have 96 affiliates. Affiliates are existing organizations external to World Beyond War that partner with us and collaborate together on things of mutual interest. For example, Canadian Voice of Women for Peace is one of our affiliates based in Canada. We also have 800 and counting organizational peace pledge signers, which are organizations that have signed on to our Declaration of Peace. And any type of organization around the world can sign on. So if you know of any groups that might be interested, you can invite them to sign. This is our Declaration of Peace. You can sign on if you haven't yet at WorldBeyondWar.org. And again, you'll see on the website the two versions for individuals and organizations. And it lays out our mission to end all war and to work non-violently towards that cause. Our work can be thought of in two buckets of education and action. We debunk the myths of war and lay out the proven nonviolent alternatives to war. And then we work with people to put that knowledge into practice, to take action locally in their communities, to work towards demilitarizing their communities and transforming their areas from an extractive militaristic economy towards a regenerative economy. Within our education work, there are three areas, which are to debunk the myths of war, proving that war is not necessary, inevitable, beneficial, or just, to lay out the reasons why we need to end war, what we call the 7 whys, such as war threatens the environment, or war promotes bigotry and racism. And we have fact sheets, videos, and other materials on each of these reasons. And the third piece of our education work is to lay out the how. How do we get to a world beyond war? Our blueprint for that is what we call the AGSS, which is the Alternative Global Security System. That is our book, which lays out our three main strategies of demilitarizing security, managing conflict non-violently, and creating a culture of peace. Within our education work, I've mentioned our book, and we have many other materials that have sort of spun off of that, including our free study and discussion guide, our online courses, which we run throughout the years, our fact sheets, our webinars, and other educational resources. Within our nonviolent direct action campaigns, we have many different areas of focus, which again take a localized focus depending on what's happening in certain regions of the world. Two of our main campaigns are weapons divestment and closing military bases, which we see as core steps needed to get us to a world beyond war by literally withdrawing investments from the weapons industry, which can be done at many different levels, such as divesting a city or divesting an institution like a university. And closing military bases is a crucial step by literally dismantling the infrastructure that is propping up war. And that is the network of military bases around the world, of which the United States military has the vast, vast majority, with over 800 bases around the world. These are some of our educational and organizing resources. I've mentioned some of them already. A few others that I'll highlight. We also have a Peace Almanac, which is a calendar of daily peace holidays and important peace moments in the peace movement. And this can be used both as an educational tool and an organizing tool to organize days of action around those days in the Peace Almanac. Another educational resource is our Mapping Militarism project, which maps out where militarism is around the world, where troops are stationed, where weapons are located, etc. On the right-hand side are some of our organizing resources. We provide a lot of technical assistance to our chapters and affiliates, such as doing a lot of webinar hosting, graphic design, social media assistance, organizing trainings, and strategy advice, for example. So, what is a chapter? A chapter advances World Beyond War's mission to abolish war by hosting events, campaigns, and activities focused on peace education and nonviolent direct action. A chapter collects signatures for the Declaration of Peace. It organizes at least 4 events per year, which can take many different forms. And again, a chapter can choose a localized focus for various campaigns and activities based on what's resonating in their area and what's most relevant within the umbrella of ending all war. Chapters receive various benefits working with our staff, who provide free resources and trainings based on chapter requests, such as how to use Twitter or how to create graphics or how to run a nonviolent direct action, for example. We also provide chapters with free web pages and help chapters to set up email lists to run their chapters. We publicize chapter events and connect chapters with people around the world who are working on similar campaigns to share expertise and build global solidarity. And that's one of the great benefits of being part of the World Beyond War network, is this sense of international solidarity. And that's a highlight for me, is the quarterly meetings that we have throughout the year with our chapters, where we get to hear what everyone's working on around the world and share, what's working, what's not, and how we can work together. Here are some common questions about starting a chapter. Number 1, does World Beyond War ever support violence, war, or weapons in some circumstances? The answer is no. We do take an abolitionist approach in our work and oppose all forms of war and all types of weapons and violence. It's very important to us to have a nonviolent stance in all of our activities. Number 2, are chapters expected to fundraise for World Beyond War? No, fundraising is not a requirement. It's something chapters can do if it's in their interest or in their means to work on that. Number 3, can World Beyond War or my local chapter endorse a political candidate for office? As a nonprofit, we cannot get involved in electoral organizing, so we can't endorse candidates running for public office. And number 4, what is the legal structure of a chapter? There is no requirement. Most chapters are unincorporated groups of volunteers. Some chapters have gone beyond that and decided to legally incorporate, but there isn't any requirement for it. So that's a brief overview of World Beyond War's mission, campaigns, and what our chapters do. You can find us at WorldBeyondWar.org, and we're also on all of the major social media channels. Thanks for watching.